Now at 5, Governor Mike Parson visits Southwest Missouri to discuss education and workforce development. Plus, some local elementary students had a chance to talk to pilots and learn more about aviation.
President Biden travels to New York to talk about creating manufacturing jobs. I'm Natalie Brandt with a new poll that reveals how voters feel about the economy ahead of the midterms.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Iowa County Sheriff's Office is now offering $2,500 reward for help capturing 2 escaped inmates. This is KOAM News at 5. I am Amber Jenkins. 4 inmates escaped the county jail on Tuesday. 2 have already been captured, Rusty and Reese in Buck Marindale. 2 are still at large. They are Daniel Zakchek and Tyler Tavis. Again, there is now a $2,500 reward being offered for the capture of each. Authorities say that they should be both considered armed and dangerous. Kansas Bureau of Investigation says the death of 2 people in Labette County this week are now considered homicides. The bodies were found Monday morning at 693 16,000 Road in Mon Valley. Their identities have been confirmed as 43-year-old Linda Pound and 49-year-old Jason Bacon, both from Mon Valley. Authorities say autopsy results determined the victims died from gunshot wounds. Anyone with information is asked to call the police. Joplin students got to meet with Governor Mike Parson today and visit the training center in the area. The Missouri governor visited Crowder College and Joplin High School technology centers today for a tour and a chance to talk with students. Parson says even though employment rates is at the lowest it's ever been, the state still has over 100,000 job openings. He says the quicker the students can get their training done, they can get into the workforce and fill some of those spots.
It's always fun to come down here and you see good things happening after what all we've been through. So we're excited about it. We want to continue on the growth on the workforce development pieces to make sure we're doing what we can to give these colleges the tools they need to be successful.
We have from advanced manufacturing to welding to a new program in surgical tech. What we're doing here is providing the workforce for the area.
Currently, Crowder College is about 160 students in the Advanced Training and Technology Center. Roughly 30 aircraft landed at Pittsburgh Axon Municipal Airport for the Fly Kansas Air Tour. The tour is a 3-day, 9-city celebration of aviation. Pittsburgh is the second stop on the statewide tour. Over 200 fifth graders from Pittsburgh schools attended the event to meet pilots and learn about aviation. Kids say that they had a great experience.
It's actually like being able to see everything inside the plane. It's really cool being able to sit in the seat because the seats are pretty comfy.
I really like the planes around here. They look cool and you get to learn about the planes and stuff.
The Fly Kansas Air Tour will end on Saturday. Doug Hetty joins us.
Well, definitely turned out to be another nice day for us today. Partly to mostly sunny skies, just a few little cumulus clouds popping up as we have gone through the afternoon hours. But overall, it looks pretty good. But just to our north, we got a cold front that is heading in. You can see a few showers behind it. That little batch may give us a few sprinkles late in the daytime hours for us tomorrow. But look at this front. Pretty strong cold front. So we're in the 80s ahead of it. 65 in Des Moines. Lincoln is sitting at 70. Check out Rapid City, 40 degrees. So that front is going to head toward us as we go through the overnight hours tonight. For this evening, if you are getting out, looks good. 80 by 6, 71 by 8, 64 by 10, down to about 52 degrees for an overnight low. Now it gets quite a bit cooler over the next couple days. We're going to look at that coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Doug. The Biden administration is weighing its options after the OPEC Plus said it's cutting its oil production in order to boost prices. Yesterday, the group announced it was lowering production by 2 million barrels a day. It's the biggest cut since the start of the pandemic. U.S. officials called the move short-sighted. To counter the reduction, President Biden is expected to order the release of up to 10 million gallons of oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve. President Biden traveled to upstate New York to meet with workers and tour an IBM facility. He also was there to highlight the company's multi-billion-dollar investment to make semiconductors, which is expected to create high-paying manufacturing jobs. Reporter Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
With midterms a month away, President Biden is back on the road visiting an IBM site in Poughkeepsie in New York's Hudson Valley.
It's here at this factory and the factories of other companies across America where America's future is literally being built.
The president's trip is focusing on what he calls a manufacturing boom nationwide. He's crediting the recently passed Bipartisan Chips and Science Act for spurring semiconductor production here in the U.S. IBM says it will invest $20 billion over the next decade to manufacture semiconductors and other technology.
This is about economic security, folks. It's about national security. It's about good-paying jobs.
New York Congress members Sean Patrick Maloney and Pat Ryan are among those who joined the president for his visit. Both House Democrats are running in competitive midterm races. While the White House has downplayed concerns about the economy, Republicans have seized on high inflation and rising costs as their key message.
Every single thing they touch is wrong. Inflation out of control. You go to the grocery store, the price of food skyrocketing.
A new Monmouth poll out this week reported more than 80% of Americans ranked inflation as a top issue, while only 3 in 10 said they approve of the president's handling of inflation. With the balance of power in Congress at stake, President Biden heads to New Jersey Thursday evening for a Democratic fundraiser. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
IBM's $20 billion investment follows similar announcements from other tech companies around the country. Micron, also in New York, Wolfspeed in North Carolina, and Intel in Ohio have all announced multi-billion-dollar investments to manufacture chips and other technology. President Biden is pardoning thousands of Americans convicted of simple possession of marijuana under the federal law. It's a dramatic step towards decriminalizing the drug and addressing changing practices that impacts people of color. The president is also calling governors to issue similar pardons for those convicted of state marijuana offenses, which is reflect of the vast majority of marijuana possession cases. Still ahead, a look at the challenges facing apple farms causing your produce to cost more. And next in Health Watch, how Sesame Street the musical is giving kids with autism a chance to experience the show. Topping today's Health Watch, 4 out of 5 people with long COVID are still experiencing limitations in their day-to-day activities. The CDC conducted a survey amongst Americans with long COVID. Approximately a quarter said that ongoing symptoms significantly limit their daily activities. The long-term impact of long COVID is still being researched. An off-Broadway show in New York featuring Sesame Street favorites also features some special performances. Elmo, Cookie Monster, and others take part in a sensory-friendly show. Reporter Dave Carlin went behind the scenes of Sesame Street the musical.
Ooh, spotlight!
I saw Cookie Monster.
C is for cookie, that's good enough for me.
Compelled to sing along? Go right ahead at Sesame Street the musical.
Cookie, start with C.
Did you like the show?
Yes or no?
Yeah!
His favorite, Elmo, is here. And Bert and Ernie, and Grover, and more.
When you're sitting in the audience and you get to hear Rubber Ducky and C is for Cookie, and see Cookie Monster up there, and see Elmo up there doing his thing, Rosita strumming a guitar, it's really magical.
Earlier this year, Sesame Workshop celebrated the 5th anniversary of its Sesame Street and Autism, See Amazing in All Children. The musical is hosting sensory-friendly performances.
We have the lights at the right levels, we have the sound levels correct, so nothing is overwhelming from a sensory perspective. They're really special performances. You can see that people are really overjoyed that they're able to bring the whole family along, and it's for everybody.
Love to eat cookie, sometimes eat whole, sometimes me chew it. Big finish, cookie, start with C.
The runtime is an hour for fun you can count on. Dave Carlin, CBS News.
The CDC estimates 1 in every 44 children has an autism spectrum disorder in the U.S. Moms who eat ultra-processed food tend to have children with higher rates of obesity. A study published by BMJ found children were at a 26% higher risk of being overweight or obese if their mothers' diets includes large amounts of processed food, such as sugary carbonated drinks and packaged baked goods and snacks. Eating cold water fish is good for the brain, new evidence show. Research published in Neurology shows the omega-3 fatty acids in fish such as salmon, tuna, and sardines are associated with better cognitive function among people in their 40s and 50s. But doctors say young people can also benefit from this by including fish in their diet. That's a look at today's health news. A little bit later, it's the latest on the potential takeover deal between Elon Musk and Twitter.
Plus, a strong cold front is heading toward us. I'm going to give you those details coming up. Well, it turned out to be another nice one for us today. Back into lower 80s. We had a weak cold front that passed through yesterday evening, so a little bit cooler than what we have seen over the past couple days, but still warm for this time of the year. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Partly cloudy skies, and that's what we're going to have as we go through the evening hours, but we really need some rain. New Drought Tracker updated today, and at the top of the scale, exceptional drought. Look at this swath from Independence, Chanute, Parsons, Pittsburgh, Joplin, and then an extreme drought for just about the entire viewing area. A little bit better once you get down toward Table Rock Lake, but we need some rain. We don't have a lot in the forecast, but we have some in the forecast, which is good. 81 Nevada, 80 in Miami, we have 85 in Chanute, but check this out, just to our north, strong cold front near Kansas City. So look at Des Moines, 65, 70 in Lincoln, 40 in Rapid City. So that cooler air is going to be heading toward us as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. 82 northerly winds, 10 to 15, humidity is at about 30%. If you are getting outside this evening, looks fine. 80 by 6, 71 by 8, 64 by 10, a little cooler, down to about 52 later on tonight. But besides that, you can see just the cumulus clouds kind of popping up throughout the afternoon hours. Now, with that front, we have a few thunderstorms, northern parts of Illinois, kind of back through northeastern parts of Missouri. This little batch will try to affect us tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening, and then we got another wave that's sitting out across southwestern parts of the U.S. that will try to give us some rain by early next week. All right, let's step through time. Front starts to work in right around midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see the northeasterly winds. We do get some clouds, so partly cloudy skies late. Look at our lows down into the lower 50s. As we go through the morning hours tomorrow, clouds increase again. Here's a few little sprinkles, a few little showers. Northern counties, most of us dry. As we get into the afternoon, clouds thicken. You can see a few spotty little sprinkles, a few spotty little showers. Also notice our temperatures, 62 in Nevada, near 70 in Pineville. So our temperatures are going to be fantastic for us tomorrow. 54 in the morning, 64 by noon. Clouds increase, random sprinkle, random shower in the afternoon, and 67 by 5 p.m. Tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, still kind of hit and miss with the clouds and maybe a random sprinkle into Saturday morning. And then as we get into Saturday afternoon, partly sunny skies back into the upper 60s for highs. So tomorrow we start at 54, our high of 68 degrees. It is going to be windy. Check out the wind gusts as this front rolls through. So after 2 a.m., our winds are going to be gusting anywhere from 25 to 30, and then they will slowly start to calm down as we get into tomorrow afternoon. But welcome, we get some fall-like weather. High school football weather looks fantastic tomorrow evening. 68 for a high, 44 tomorrow night, 69 on Saturday, 75 on Sunday. So just a perfect fall weekend. We do pop back into the 80s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Best chance for rain, showers, and thunderstorms on Wednesday, which we desperately need.
Yeah, instead of rain, rain, go away, it's more like rain, rain, come this way.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Coming up, why the cost of apples are on the rise. But first, we want to honor a local veteran. Staff Sergeant Paul Nielsen, a native to Jasper, Missouri, Nelson served from 1972 to 1973 in the Air Force. He served in Thailand in the 49th Tactical Fighter Wing Unit. Staff Sergeant Paul Nilsson, we thank you, our four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, Elon Musk was supposed to be deposed today, but in his legal battle with Twitter, but lawyers agreed to postpone it. This comes after Musk said he's ready to move forward with the $44 billion deal to buy the social media company. However, Musk lawyers said today Twitter is now refusing that offer and is looking to move ahead with the trial. An apple a day is costing more. Prices at the store are up because growers are facing a set of unique challenges, including inflation and labor shortages. Scott McFarland reports.
Baron Shaw runs a family farm and apple orchard in York County, Pennsylvania. They got its start in 1841. So it's striking to hear Shaw say he's facing challenges this year unlike any year before.
How stressful is that for you to try to get through your business and through the week?
Inflation makes it very stressful. I mean, the fuel prices, the energy costs, all of it is going up.
Unlike so many other items in the produce aisle that benefit from automated farming practices, apples are picked by hand. Shaw says they can't find domestic workers for this intensely physical job. The industry relies heavily on international migrant laborers using H-2A visas. Their wages are set by the federal government and vary state by state.
Every year that price goes up, and we don't have a whole lot of say in that.
Shaw saw the wage for H-2A workers increase 10% from last year, up to $15.78 an hour. And across the country, H-2A wages have been going up 5 to 10% every year. Apples on average cost 6% more this year. But that's not all because of labor. In fact, most farmers aren't seeing more money in their pockets. So it's inflation that's causing some of the industry's biggest customers to see the most dramatic effects.
You need 2,000 apples a day.
A day to meet our needs.
In Montgomery County, Maryland, this is the first year ever public schools won't be able to serve a fresh, seasonal apple for lunch. Local apples this fall cost them 3 times as much. They'll have to stick with cheaper, pre-packaged slices instead. Less apple for each child.
How important is an apple to a kid?
Apples are our #1 fresh fruit that our kids love.
For farmers like Baron Shaw to weather this economic storm, they're trying to lure you to buy at the apple orchard itself this fall to cut out the middlemen. They can offer a lower price and land a bigger profit if you pick it off the trees than off a grocery store shelf.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
And for your local apple orchard, that could be the tipping point.
Some orchards somewhere in America, they can't sell directly to people on their farm. They're going to go out of business.
It's very, very possible, yes. These businesses really are not sustainable unless they're profitable.
I'm Scott McFarland in Stewartstown, Pennsylvania.
The U.S. Apple Industry Association estimates total labor costs spiked up over 30% this year. Amazon is looking to hire some holiday help. The company says it hopes to add 150,000 new staffers nationwide. The job openings include full-time, seasonal, and part-time positions. The company says sign-on bonuses will be offered for those who accept holiday positions. Final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look towards the future on the price of gasoline. Then on KOAM News at 6, details of an officer-involved shooting in Claremore, Oklahoma. Plus, we'll have more on Governor Mike Parson's plans for workforce development in Southwest Missouri. And Pitt State prepares to host a top 10 matchup this weekend against Northwest Missouri State. Stay with us for CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6.
All right, weather. Looks pretty good for us tonight. Strong cold fronts heading toward us as we drop back into lower 50s. Look at this, 68 tomorrow, partly sunny. May get a few random sprinkles, maybe a quick shower late in the day. 44 tomorrow night, 69 on Saturday. The weekend looks fantastic. Rain chances increasing next week.
Thank you for joining us. The CBS News is up next. Of course, we'll be right back here at KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.